Hey everyone, my name is Geraldine Carter. I'm a mindset and mindfulness coach here in Missoula, Montana, and I was having coffee with Jill the other day, and we were talking about what I do and how I work and stuff, and she asked me to put together a short little video on basically what I do and how I help people be more effective and more productive at work and kind of stay out of ruts and stay out of sand traps and stuff like that. So I put together some PDFs that Jill may or may not have sent your way, but I'm going to use them as examples here in the background as I talk to give you a sense, like a more specific sense of what I do. And generally speaking, what I help people do is understand the ways that they're getting in their own way. A lot of us are familiar with things like procrastinating, delaying, avoiding doing things that are important, being a perfectionist, overthinking, overachieving, over-preparing, avoiding, I think I said, or getting paralyzed, being deer in the headlights, stuck, you're spinning your wheels. Those things sound familiar, but what are they really? What is it to be stuck and spinning your wheels? What is it to delay, and why do we do it? And if there weren't some motivation for doing it, we wouldn't do it. So what I help people do is to see exactly how these things play out in life and in work. So for example, if you tend to say, let me go to this. So what I break those things down to is your thoughts inform your feelings, inform your actions. So if you think to yourself, oh, this person has no idea what he's doing, and you feel frustrated, then maybe you go do it for him, or maybe you ignore him and you don't offer to help. Or for example, I better get this right. Maybe you feel intimidated and then you avoid doing it or you delay getting started. So you can see how these things play out. Like another one that I have on the PDF is, if you think, what am I doing? If I call her, she's totally going to say no to me. You feel demotivated and you don't pick up the phone, and so of course you don't make a sale. So these things can play out really quietly in the background. You may have some sense that they're going on, but it's really kind of hard to grasp because it happens really fast inside of our minds and inside our bodies that it's almost too quick to catch, especially if we've never, had somebody coach us before and help us see what we're doing. And like I said at the beginning, there's usually some kind of payoff, some motivation for doing it, because otherwise we just wouldn't do it. And often that payoff, that motivation, actually comes at a cost. So what looks like a payoff of not picking up the phone to set up a phone call with someone who might reject you is that you get to avoid possible rejection, which is great. Wouldn't we all love to avoid rejection? But the cost is that you don't make a sale and you don't create any business, which was the thing that you were fearing in the beginning anyways. So you can see how we end up creating the very thing that we don't want. For the person who thinks, oh my gosh, this guy has no idea what he's doing, and you get frustrated, the payoff might be that you get to feel justified in not helping, because it's his fault anyways that he's not up to speed, right? And the consequence of that is that morale can suffer, teamwork goes down the drain, and so on. So what I do is find out from people where they're getting stuck. And people know where they're getting stuck. They really have a feel for it. They just don't know how to break it down into this slow motion replay, right? Of like a high speed touchdown pass, and ball gets caught, then he hits the ground. Is he inbounds, out of bounds? You have to go to the instant replay in slow motion to see what happened. And so that's what I do with folks is we go to the instant replay. We check out the thoughts that are in play. We check out how people feel inside their bodies because it's a helpful signal. It's not because I want people to commune with the redwoods, but it's a useful signal to us to what's going on and the actions that play out. And we get clear about that whole process so people can see for themselves what's going on, so that when it's happening, they can go, oh, look, it's happening right now. Okay, here it is. And then with practice, they can learn to make choices that in the end are more effective. And the part about the illusory benefit and the cost is that so often, like I said, it seems like there's a motivating reason to do it. Otherwise, we would just drop it. But that motivation is also usually a cost, just masquerading as a benefit. So getting clarity around that too, of the totality of what it costs us to be doing some of these counterproductive behaviors, really helps people go, oh, okay, right. And how about I stop doing that, because it really isn't serving me, it's not serving anybody else. And it's not about making people feel badly or guilty or any of that. It's just about supporting people to make the changes that they know they want to make, and they just need some help getting clear about what it is and how to do it. So that's what I do and how I help people. And if that, seems interesting to you, or you want to know more about it, Jill can connect you guys with me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, and would love to talk more with you about what seems right to you guys and what might be helpful. So there we are, and I'm going to sign off. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.